Cora Cristobal has become a very, very good friend now. And she came to me and she had these dreams. And the one question she had is, Sunil, I'm a certain age right now. She told me her age. And she said, should I even bother doing it now? And is it something that I should even think about doing, meaning being a real estate millionaire? Or I said, what else are your goals? She goes, you know what, I want to empower women. I want to do something. I want to speak to women. I want to take them to the next level. And I said, well, you can do it. And we worked for about a year and a half. And one day I said to Cora, your dream about opening up a women's club, what happened? She said, well, I want it. I said, okay, pick a date. She said, pick a date for what? I said, pick a date for your event. And she picked a date, and her heart's going boom, 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 boom. And then she picked a date. Then she got a logo. She got all that. And then, was it February 18th. February of which is last month, she had her first meeting as the founder of the Toronto Women's Club, Cora Cristobal. Give her a hand, guys.
Thank you.
Give her a hand, guys. Cora.
Thank you.
Awesome. Very proud of you.
Thank you, Sunil. Can you hear me? Yeah. Thank you. Good afternoon. I know you're all starving, but bear with me for the next 20 minutes. We will have, I understand we will have lunch after this, and thank you for sticking it out. And I am so happy to have all of you at this event. Now, the other night, I was so lucky and privileged to have a dinner with none other than Jack Canfield, Terry, and Sunil Tulsiani. You can imagine, on top of CN Tower, I was seated across Mr. Jack Canfield. And I was giggling and was so excited. And he said, are all Filipina girls like you? I can't help it. If you are seated across Jack Canfield, what would you feel, right? And then he asked me a question. How long have you been in Canada? I said, well, I migrated here in 2003, 2017, so that makes it about 14 years. And he said to me, why did you come to Canada? I said, it's a sad story. Would you like to share? Oh, sure. So I told my story to Jack Canfield, and I said, I lost a big amount of money. I'll tell you. I don't normally say this in the public because I don't want to brag about how much I lost. But I lost 14 million pesos, which is at that time equivalent to $500,000. That's how much I have made money on my real estate investments. I was originally a certified accountant and had a great accounting career. Then when I got married, after 2 children, husband said to me, quit your job, look after the kids. So I was a career woman for like 11 years. And what you can imagine that I would have gotten bored staying at home looking after the kids, right? So husband said to me, get a license in real estate. Took the license. And then I started to buy and sell land. And that's how I made my fortune. But then when I lost the money, 14 million pesos, I was shocked, right? And I thought about it. I have 4 children. At the time, I already have 4 children. And I even went to the police because this is like a syndicate who tricked me to fall into an investment and lost all the money. So because of my children, I thought, I don't want to live in the Philippines anymore. That's the Philippines. And my brother was here, living here for like almost 20 years. So I applied for immigration, and we took off from the Philippines to Canada with all my children and the husband in 2003. Then they grew up. After 2 or 3 years, second daughter started acting up like teenager. I'm very sure many of you are parents here with teenagers. And it was a daughter who really gave me a hard time And husband just said, I'm going back to the Philippines. I cannot take it anymore. So husband left me with 4 children. My annual salary at the time was $35,000, left me with a mortgage, with the bills, with a problem daughter. And I said to myself, how am I going to survive, right? So for a while, I hated my husband. I hated why I came to Canada. I blame myself. I blame everybody. I blame the whole world. What happened to me? I said, why did it ever happen to me? I'm not a bad person. Then I started to pray and meditate. And then one day, I realized I needed to go back to real estate because real estate investing has been my passion. I had a house, and I said, this is my only asset. And then I took lines of credit and started to buy one condo, another condo, and kept the house. And then I got a license and did a part-time job as a real estate agent and still keep my full-time job. I renovated the basement and made 2 rooms in the basement, giving me like over $1,100 a month. Bottom line, I went back up and started attending events. And one day, I said, how can I make it into the next level? Because I kept my house with 2 condos, but I wanted to do more. So one day I went to an event and I met Sunil Tulsiani there. I heard him speak and I was so mesmerized about his achievement of buying 77 properties in 1 year and made almost $1 million. I said, this is the kind of person I'd like to work with. And in November of 2014, I hired him as a mentor. Now, I told you this story because I wanted to tell all of you, especially women, because I am a woman, that how are we able to bounce back from adversity and challenges? I would like to share with you. I went into the deep prayers, I went into deep meditation, I went to the gym and exercise, and I traveled. I have always dreamt to travel to Europe. So what I did, I went to Europe. I went to London, to Paris, to Switzerland, in Italy, and in the last city, I was inside the Basilica and in Rome, and it just opened my mind. It opened my mind, it opened my heart, and I said, what am I doing more? What should I do more in order to help people, right? So then I started to learn about the gratitude. I'll tell you something, that in the past, I was not grateful. I thought that what I've accomplished is because of my hard work. So then, when I focused on my gratitude, I was experiencing joy, and I get more of what I thankful, right? And every day, I have a gratitude journal where I write at least 5 areas or people where I am thankful for. Like, I am thankful for the new day, I am thankful for my children, I am thankful for my mentor, anything, even small things. And I noticed that I get more and more of what I thank for. And also, I did positive affirmations, like, I am happy to be alive, or I can do anything. And when I repeat that and repeat that, it brings me back to experience new hope, and I am getting it, right? And then also, I am no longer, if there is any problem, I am no longer thinking of the problem. I now focus on the solution, and it gives me it makes my life a lot easier because the problem, if you keep on focusing on the problem, it is not helping me. It is just magnifying. It is just being magnified. But when I focus on the solution, it just gets better and better. And if you work hard on it and your heart is into it, and you get the help of other people who can help you, then I just solve the problem. And the last but not the least, for a long, long time, I was not forgiving myself. I blame myself. I blame other people. But when I started forgiving myself and forgive other people, it just makes me happier and happier, and it just gives me more peace of mind. So I would also like to continue by saying how do you build strength and self-confidence? Because sometimes when bad things happen to us, you lose your confidence, you lose your self-esteem. And this is what I did. Being raised up in a strong faith in my family, and with my sisters calling me every now and then, she said, Cora, just hang in there and keep praying and praying. And I became more of a prayerful person, and I became closer to my God. And then I read motivational books, listened to audios, watched videos, and then I continue learning new skills from my mentor. What my mentor will say, I follow, right? So, and then I did extraordinary things like writing a book. I learned how to write a book. And this brought me an extraordinary joy. The first book is Journey to a New You, The 12 Habits to a Happy and Successful Life. From what I have experienced in the past and what I have learned when I was in Canada having Sunil as my mentor, I put them all together, and I enrolled in a, I'm very sure the students of Raymond Aron knows about this. I enrolled in the 10-10-10 program of Raymond. I enrolled in the 10-10-10 program of Raymond in February of 2015. I got my book launch in April of the same year. And then when Raymond came to know about me, he offered me to co-author a book with him and, called The Authorities, which is a book I co-wrote with Raymond Aron, with Dr. John Gray of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and Marcy Shaimo for Happy for No Reason and Love for No Reason. And in December of 2016, my first book with Sunil, co-authored with Sunil and all other experts in their own field, The Secret to Real Estate Wealth, became #1 selling book in Amazon in Canada and the USA. So in the whole year of 2016, I completed 3 books. And the next book is going to be a book with Brian Tracy. I'll tell you something about the books. This is really something very, very important to me, because when you write, people come to me and say, Cora, why do you write books? Do you love to write books? Well, when I was in high school, I really loved to write books. But this is not about just writing a book and selling the book. It is about writing a book and building your brand and building your credibility. So after writing a book, people came to me and say, oh, Cora, we didn't know that you were this and that. And they were attracted to me and asked for my help. And I felt like somebody who can help these people. And many women came to me, and I didn't realize that I was already touching so many women's hearts. And that's when Sunil thought, Cora, why don't you open up a club? I said, what will I do with a club? I don't know how to run a club. And without a mentor, can you imagine without a mentor, what would have I done? Maybe I will just, even the idea of putting up a club will never enter my mind. And probably I will just deal with every woman who will come to me and say, Cora, I'm depressed, or I have this relationship problem. People come to me after them reading my book. But then the other thing that happens is when you, how to build credibility is by association. You associate yourself with positive, successful, and happy people. And also, I started becoming a mentor. I did not even expect that, to be mentoring, to coaching, but this comes after I wrote a book and people look up to me as an authority who can rise up from an occasion, who can rise up after a challenge or an adversity. So they started acknowledging me, being able to help them buy a property or invest in a property or sell their house, or even, I was even starting to become a life coach. So my next point is, how do you build wealth at any point in your life? The number one for me is to hire a mentor. I would have done anything of this without a mentor. And then, what else are the reasons why you cannot build wealth at any point in your life? Fears and limiting beliefs, right? So how do you go against your fears and limiting beliefs? So I started listening to hypnotist programs, and then with the education and mentorship, I was able to have more confidence, and I was able to overcome my fears and limiting beliefs. And then I started to go to events, and I became a member of Private Investment Club. I became a member of Lioness Women's Club, and that brings me more and more confidence, and I was able to expand my horizon and getting more opportunities. And the other thing is building relationships. How do you think I would be able to have a dinner with Jack Canfield? And how would I be able to speak in this stage, sharing a stage with Jack Canfield and all these successful people without having established good relationships? And then I stuck myself with skills and increase my value so that I can give more and share more and help more people. And the other thing is, you have to find your center of influence. What do you mean by center of influence? It is a person who can give you access to other opportunities. And for me, my center of influence is my mentor. I couldn't emphasize enough the importance of having a mentor. So how do you build wealth through real estate? In my case, I have made my fortune in real estate from like 20 years back. But when I came to Canada and having a limited capital, I learned how to joint venture. And an example of that is when I started buying properties, joint venture with other people. And I will show you an example of, by the way, I was able to buy 6 US properties to take advantage of the recession. And these are the pictures of the houses that I bought under joint venture, located in Florida and Ohio. So, an example of a property that I buy is this house in Florida. It is a single-family home, 3-bedroom, 2-washroom, with a 1,200 square feet, with a purchase cost of $78,000 US. with a rent of $875 a month, this has 875 will give you 1.1% of 78,000 just as a percentage. With expenses of property tax for $76, management fee which is 10%, so that's $87.50. Vacancy allowance at 5% is $44. Repairs allowance at 10% is $87.50. So total expenses is $295. So if you add all of the expenses, that will total to $580. You deduct it from the rent, so you're making, I think we are cut off there. 875 minus 580 is, will give us around less than $300 or 200 something dollars, right? $295, so almost $300. So if you annualize $295 and divide by the purchase cost, the ROI there is about close to 9%, which is much, much better if you buy a property here in Canada, because as you know, the prices here, especially in Toronto, it has gone up so high that investors could hardly even break even on your investment. You could hardly break even. If not, you could even lose money and shell out extra money to pay all your expenses. So before I end my speech, this is how I want to tell you that this is how I help people. I help people how to buy or invest in real estate, and I can help people how to buy or sell real estate in Canada, USA, and Philippines. And I know I can also help you how to find joint venture partner. And I can also help you how to find money partner. And because I already have written 3 books, I can also help you how to write a book systematically. And maybe if you like to be on stage, I can also help you to get on stage. And now, after having founded Toronto Women's Club, my goal now is to help every woman who is now in a situation wherein they don't even know what their purpose in life is. They wouldn't even know how to augment their income. They don't know how else they can make extra money. They don't know probably how to make $1 million or anything. So this is the reason why I put up the Toronto Women's Club, in order to empower women, and my own experience will help them cope up with the adversities and challenges in life. So actually, my second event is coming soon on April 22nd. So this is the second quarter meeting. I would like to invite you, especially the women. Of course, this is open to everybody. On April 22nd, we are having a meeting at the Novotel Hotel, whole day, and we will have guest speakers none other than Bagdan, Sunil Tulshani, another woman, and I'm still looking for another woman, who will give us more inspiration and learn from successful and powerful women to give talk to the members, and who would like to see, to experience what Toronto Women's Club is all about. Now, at this point, I would also like to say that if you come to my table and drop your cards there, I'm also giving away to be raffled an iPad, and tickets will be available on my table. So I would like to end this talk by saying, nothing is impossible. You can do anything and everything if you put your heart and soul into it. Nothing is impossible. I've done it. If I can do it, so you can do it. Thank you. Woo! Woo!
Let's give Cora a hand again. Let's like a Toronto hand. Come on.